Morning everybody, Tony Margratelli here, Chairman at ICPA. Welcome to another one of my ICPA in practice blogs. Today's blog is about my 5 top tips to help gain client referral business. My first tip is that if you would actually like to get client referrals, and being in practice, why on earth wouldn't you? You have to actually ask them. Now, we're all very busy and accountants are very busy, and a lot of the times when you're meeting your clients, it's quite often to do year-end accounts or to sort out queries or management accounts. And sometimes the meetings can go on quite a while, and sometimes you just forget. Well, if you find that you do forget to make mention of this, maybe you need to stick a note on your permanent file, or always put a note at the front of the file to remind you to actually discuss recommendations with your clients. And when you do ask them and they talk about business and say, oh, how's business? And so, oh, it's going fine. Never ever say, oh, I'm so busy, I've just got no time to breathe. You've always got to say, yes, you're busy, or business is fine, but there's always capacity. We could always do with new business. Never talk to your clients and say to them something along the lines that you're so busy that you can't cope. It makes no sense. If they think you're so busy, then they'll say, oh, poor old Tony, you're so busy, we won't bother recommending that friend of ours to him because he's so busy, he can't cope with what he's got. Always say to your clients that you could always do with new business, and you appreciate if any recommendation they may make. My next tip to help you gain client referral business is to remind you to involve the staff. The staff are an asset to your business. Of course they are, that's why you're employing them. But they probably have more day-to-day contact with your clients than you do. And in all their contact with the clients, if you remind them that there'll be general chit-chat about business, how you're getting on, how's work, etc., etc., that if they can always carry on the ethos of the practice that business is brisk, business is good, but that we could always do with some extra business here at the practice, you'll find you may well reap rewards. And of course, if you want to incentivize your staff, that's another thing for you to think about. My next tip to help you gain more referral business is to remind you to actually say thank you. Now, if you want someone to refer business to you and they've actually gone ahead and done it, are they more likely to continue to refer business if you've actually acknowledged that they've done something for you and you drop them a quick line and say thank you very much, it really is appreciated, or if you completely ignore it and you don't make mention of it in any which way? Well, you know the answer to that one. So get into the habit that if a client has made, a new client comes to you and they've been recommended, make sure you know who has recommended them, and make sure you follow up that meeting with a letter to your original client saying how much you appreciate them taking the time to refer you to their colleague or their friend, and that it is much appreciated, and that you hope that they will continue to do this throughout the time that they are your client. Now, my next tip to help you gain new client referral business is to actually educate your new clients sooner rather than later. Now, it's fairly standard procedure for every practice to have a new client letter. You know, the one wherein you say thank you very much for opting to choose your practice and appointing you as the accountant. You may be sending them contact details for yourself and key members of the staff, email addresses, that type of thing, possibly enclosing a brochure if you're one of those practices that has brochures. Now, if that client has been referred to you, you should make reference to that in the letter, saying that you were referred to the practice by Mr. So-and-so, and that you hope that throughout the period of your relationship that this client will feel exactly the same as their friend and will feel that able to make referrals to your practice should the opportunity ever arise. Now, my final tip to help you gain new client referral business is to remember that nowadays an awful lot of communication with our clients is via email. Now, every time you email, why not have a strapline on the bottom that something to the order of, you know, XYZ accountants appreciate referral business from all their existing clients. Something along those lines. It doesn't have to be huge. It doesn't have to be a great long paragraph. Just something short and snappy, affixed to the bottom of every single email, and it may well do you a favour.